Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Speak. I am your host, Emily Miller, intuitive guide and healer. Okay, so we've kind of been on this theme the last 2 weeks about where our beliefs are coming from, why we have them, the dark force situation that kind of has fueled them, and who we're actually wanting to believe. So, this brings me to something that has been coming up so much in my life right now because, I know that these programs that I have running, that I am reprogramming into, putting myself back into alignment with what my true self and my higher self have planned for me in this lifetime, and what is actually the source truth on who I am and what my source aligned beliefs are with myself. So, what is the actual truth of who I am and what I am capable of, and what I deserve in life, and what I desire, and how, all of these things are possible for me, right? Because these ideas are seeming kind of sometimes so big and so lofty and so heady and almost out of reach. So, I'm in this place right now where I am, under the full grasp that a lot of these beliefs that I have come from other people, right? And that they are stemming from a dark force situation. And I also know that those things that I have, had on replay in my brain for decades, it's so long that we have these beliefs until we learn this information, right? And so they're very strongly cemented within my brain, and those, neural pathways that I have are strong. And so I'm going through all of these processes to, reprogram my brain and, change the way that these neural pathways are snuffing out the old ones, creating new ones that are in perfect alignment with who I am and what I am capable of. And so I'm in this process of knowing this, knowing how to change it, and then getting to this point where the things have changed. My environment has changed. My relationships have changed. My financial situation has changed. And I've gotten to where I have been able to allow for source and higher self to bring in all of these beautiful things into my life. And now I'm sitting here and I'm going, wait, oh my gosh, I've got all these things now. What do I do with it? Do I deserve this? Can I keep this? And I've got all of this stuff going on in my brain of how am I going to keep it? How do I get to stay in this phase? And thinking, oh, well, maybe I just get it for a little bit of time and it's going to get taken away from me. And I'm going to have to move, and I'm going to have to go get a corporate job, and I'm going to have to go do all these things. And so my brain now, after I've gone through all of these different processes, I'm having to take it one step further. So this morning I was sitting out on the patio with my husband, and we're both kind of in the same mind frame because with big changes comes big emotions that you then need to understand where they're stemming from and then shift out of that mind frame, right? So he's sitting there and he's telling me how he is feeling about a certain situation, and I'm giving him a pep talk basically. And then I'm sitting there listening to it, and he's like, okay, I get it. You don't have to keep telling me this over and over again. I'm like, you know what? I'm telling you this because I need to hear it. He's like, I know. That's why I'm like, just keep talking. So I'm sitting there giving him this pep talk of, you don't have to do this because you deserve this. And you're the only one that's keeping you from these, big things that you're wanting in life. And so it's kind of crazy because now I'm sitting here thinking oh my God, I'm talking to me. I'm talking to myself. So I thought, if I'm having these situations going on in life, my husband's having these situations going on in life, you guys have got to be feeling the same way too. Like, even if you aren't to the point of having the manifestations that you have been desiring, or you are still like in this phase in life where you're like, okay, like things are crumbling, like things are falling apart. What in the world am I doing? I am in transitioning of a job. I'm in transitioning of a relationship. I'm in the middle of a move. I am, realizing that all of my spiritual beliefs that I've held on to for my whole entire life are a sham and it's not true. Like you're having these big moments in life where you're realizing the way that you have been living life is not the way that you want to continue living life, and you want to change, you want to shift, you want to make a difference in the way that you have been living. And so you might be in that phase, or you might be in the phase where you're starting to get those things that are um manifesting in your life. And maybe they're not the big thing, but they're like a little thing. So you're starting to see, okay, this work is working. I'm able to, create free coffees. I'm able to create front row parking spots. And I see like all of these, little breadcrumbs of the things that are coming in that I'm creating. And that can even be a little bit scary. You're like, whoa, I'm doing that? Like, I'm putting a lot of responsibility on myself here. Like, I am putting all my eggs in one basket, and that basket is me. Like I'm betting on me. I'm saying, okay, now I'm in control. And once you realize that you're the one who's in control, all that responsibility then lies on you. And that's a lot. Like it's a whole lot. So the first thing that I want to tell you is that, like, if you are in a spot where things are falling apart, or you're just starting to realize your manifestations are coming true, that responsibility is a gift. It is a privilege. It is an amazing thing that most people don't even know is possible. They don't even understand, like, you get to change the world that you live in. You get to be in control of the experiences in your life and the people in your life and the way that you get to live this life. Most people have no idea that that is even an option. So that responsibility, that realization that you're like, holy, like I'm the one doing all this, is a gift. Your higher self is like, here you go, gift on a silver platter. You get to be in charge now. And while that realization is scary, it's also a gift. Like it is the most beautiful thing that life can give you, the ability to create what you want. So there's that first big idea. And then the second idea that I, was thinking about is like, who am I to tell me no? Who am I to sit here and say, I don't deserve this house. I don't deserve to have a beautiful relationship. I don't deserve to have, a beautiful family. I don't deserve to have a career that I'm creating for myself that fully fulfills my soul, like that. I don't get to be on my soul pull, soul path. Because sometimes, whenever you are creating these new lives, they seem hard, they seem big, they seem scary, like we've said before. And it's true, they are big. They are a little bit scary, and they are like, holy moly, like can I do this? And they're meant to be like that because you are doing something that nobody has ever done before. You're creating something that nobody has ever created before. So there's not like a blueprint where you can go out or even go ask AI to create a business plan for you because your business doesn't exist. AI can only find stuff that's been done before. You're doing something that's never been done before, which is wild if you actually think about it. Like the billions and billions of things that AI has access to, they can't even figure out what you're doing because it hasn't been done before. You are creating something that is so wildly unique to you and your life path and purpose and attributes and everything that source and higher self made you with. Nobody can find that information. You are the one who is able to find that information by, first tapping into like your intuition and following it and understanding that you're creating something that is so beautiful and unique. And so, going into that whole idea of who am I to tell me no, like I'm the only one holding you back from anything ever in life. And that goes back to having that like huge responsibility on your shoulders. It's easy to go get a job. It's easy to just, stay asleep at the wheel and let other people guide you. It's easy to just exist and not try to do something really cool in life and, climb the mountain. It's easy to just walk along the path that's already paved. But we are not here to walk along those easy paths, especially if you're listening to this because you know that you're meant for something more than you've been experiencing. And whether it is with your job or with your relationships or your family or your spiritual, awakening that you might be experiencing right now, it's a lot of responsibility to know that you're the one that's in charge of steering that now. And it seems like it can be a harder path than just, doing things the way that other human beings are and just living life and not trying to do something really cool and amazing with it. So, thinking about that, like, yeah, you could take the easy route, which seems like the easy route because it's already been done. But in all actuality, when you really think about it, that easy route is the hard one. That's the one that's going to cause more pain. That's the one that's going to cause more suffering. That's the one that's going to cause you to be living your life in a lack of happiness. Because if you take that quote unquote easy route, the one that's already been created with the corporate job and the, relationship you just kind of settle into because it's easy, because it's what you know and what was just given to you, or you settle into a salary that gets you just enough to be able to go on a vacation once per year, or, have to be able to afford the rent or car payment that you want, or to, the spiritual path maybe that's already been paved and you're like, oh well, people get what they want still doing that. They live happy lives going to church every Sunday or going to temple every Saturday or whatever the thing is that you're doing. Like those seem easy because they've been done before and they're tempting in that way. So you're like, should I just go do that? Should I just, do the easy route? Or should I blaze a path? Should I, bust this world wide open and literally like attack all of my different options, attack all of these like cool things? And when I say attack, it sounds like kind of aggressive, but you kind of got to be that way. You've got to force through the hard stuff, the difficult stuff, the unknown path in order to get to the ease of the new life. And even in that ease of the new life, there's still going to be moments of uncomfort because anytime you get into a state of unease or uncomfort, it means that you're growing. It means that you're shifting. It means that there is something, a belief that you're holding on to, that unconscious programming that you're still holding on to, that is blocking your path of getting even more, of the universe and source being able to deliver to you something even better than what you have right now. So you might think like, oh, let's take the easy route because it's easy, it's painless. But really, that easy route is the most painful. It's the hardest, it's the most difficult because you are going to be lacking the joy and the love and the like liveliness and passion that the route that you have to take to be clearing the path and busting through all of the challenges, that's the one that's going to give you the satisfaction and the joy and the fulfillment in a lifetime, because that is the path that is the one that you're meant to go on, that literally nobody else on this planet has ever forged before. They've never gone that route. They've never been able to do those things. And one thing also that comes up with this, aside from like you thinking you're crazy and you being like, what in the world am I doing? And who am I to be doing this? You also have on top of that other people in your lives who are looking at you and thinking that you have lost your damn mind. They are like, Emily just picked up and moved her entire life to this place she's never even gone before in a matter of months. What is she doing? Why is she doing that? She's crazy. Like, what is she thinking? And you have all these like other people's thoughts and feelings and opinions about what you're doing on top of your own stuff that you're dealing with. And so I wanted to kind of address that part of this too, whenever you're making these big moves in life. And I don't mean like location, but with your whole entire existence, when you're, shifting out of old relationships, shifting out of old jobs, shifting out of old beliefs that you are holding on to. Um, People start to look at you like you're nuts. And you know what I've realized about that is they're the ones who are actually nuts, just living in these lives that they don't love. Like, who are they to be sitting over there judging me for having a life that I love? That's a judgment that's on them. Like, that's something that they need to be dealing with in their own time and their own space. I don't need to worry about what those people think about me. And even furthering this point, if they are thinking that I'm crazy, good. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that I'm on the right path. Because what I actually think is crazy is, I think it's Einstein who says this, but is doing the same stuff over and over again and expecting a different result. That's crazy. It's crazy to sit there and think like, oh, I can keep working at this corporate job. I can keep staying in the same relationship and hoping and wishing and dreaming and praying every single day that God is going to bring me something different whenever I keep doing the same junk over and over and over again. You're never going to get a different result. You're going to keep being upset with that partner. You're going to keep dreading going into that job. You're going to keep waking up in the same bed every single day and being like, why hasn't anything changed? Well, because you haven't changed. And I'm so happy that you think that I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing, because what that then solidifies to me is I'm making the right moves. I'm doing what I should be doing to get different results, to get the changes that I want in my life, and to get the fullest experience of my life. If I were to stay in the same place and do the same things over and over and over again, I'm gonna keep getting the same shitty results. I don't want those. I want a new life. So you can sit there and you can keep doing the same stuff every single day, and you can have that life while I'm over here living my life to its fullest, having these gorgeous experiences within my spiritual journey. I've got this, gorgeous, new, beautiful connection to source and my higher self, who I can talk to every single day, anytime I want to get guidance on this new life that I am living, to further establish how amazing it can be and how I'm on the exact right path, doing the exact right things, because I keep opening up more and more and more doors to having all the things that I want. Staying in the same place, staying with the same beliefs, staying with the same people, staying with the same job, keeping your environment, keeping your space, keeping the people in your life the same, are going to keep giving you the same results. You can't get new things without experiencing new things. So thinking about that and going back to that whole conversation of me, like, who am I to tell myself no? It's crazy. Like, I'm the one who is creating all of this stuff. And all I have to keep remembering is that, you know, it was all on me. I did all of this. I created everything that I have now. I created, leaving my old job. I created leaving my old friends. I created leaving my old house. I created leaving the idea of the relationship that I used to have in my head out. Like I got rid of all of that stuff and brought in the new stuff, and it's given me the life that I want. And also, on top of that, like seeing that you're the ultimate creator and you have the control, the responsibility that it holds, it's great, it's big, and it's also awesome and amazing. Like, you then get to have that. And so you've created these things that are happening in your life, whether it's falling apart or you're finally starting to see these realizations that, you've been wanting in life. And whether they're tiny or big, you're creating that. And that is amazing. Those moments of things falling apart, of old things leaving your existence, are proof that you are moving in the path forward. Those little tiny breadcrumbs and signs that you're starting to receive, that your belief changes are starting to work. That person who, moved out of your way in the parking lot to give you the perfect parking spot, that little thing is like the biggest sign and symbol that you are moving in the right direction. So take that falling apart and take those little signs and symptoms and or symptoms, signs and signals that you're getting from the universe that what you're doing is working. Take those and run with them and embrace the responsibility that you have put on yourself to say, like, yeah, I can do this. I've done all these other things. And now that I've done this, and now that I've done that, and I have created all of this, I can do more. There's always, always more. Because remember, I've told you guys this a bunch of different times that there is no limits in life. Life is abundant. If you can create a job that pays $50,000, you can create a soul pull, soul path, fully aligned, fulfilling um, job, career in your lifetime that creates $50 million. If you've done this, then you can do that. It's just learning along the way of how to get there, opening up your energy and allowing for all of that to come in. So the little things will build up and turn into the grand, big, fully realized things. And even when you get those big, grand, fully realized things, there's even more. There's more after that. Like, there's no stopping in this lifetime. You get to have this and then some. You get to have that and something better. You get to have all of those things and more. There's never a limit. So sometimes people will also think, okay, well, all I want in life is, I don't know, let's say all you want in life is a really good, solid marriage, and you want a job that pays a certain amount of money. And then what if I get that? Is that it? Like, do I not get any more? Is that where it ends? No, there's always, always more. You just have to be open and willing and ready to create that with the ways that you created the other things that you have in life too. So, the universe gives you these stages and ways to learn how to live within these manifestations that you're creating for yourself, these things that you are making possible in this lifetime, so that you can see, okay, how did I do that? And then be able to repeat it on a grander, bigger scale. So I've got this, big move that I've created, and I have a business that I've created. So how did I get it to, getting that house? What were the steps that I took to getting that house? What were the steps that I took to getting into my own business? And so for me, what I'm doing in my life right now is seeing what was my process to get me here, and then using that process to get me more, to get me to the next step, to get me to the next level. So you have to experience things on these each, stair step, and then know what you did so that you can step higher and higher and higher and get to that big picture thing that you are wanting to ultimately create in this lifetime. So just because you have a house or a job or a relationship or a spiritual relationship with your God, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all. There's always more. There's always something bigger, something better that source has waiting for you, that your higher self lined up specifically for you in this lifetime to experience. So for me, like, I hope people think I'm crazy. I hope that this feels a little bit hard. And I just need to understand that I'm the one and the only one who will ever be holding me back from anything that I want in this lifetime. It's good for people to think you're nuts, and it's good to be in a place where what you're doing seems challenging. Because if people were just in agreement with what you were doing, and if people thought that, or if you thought it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. You wouldn't be getting anything beyond just a very basic existence in this lifetime. And I know that if you're listening to this, that you want to have something beyond the basics, something so beautiful, so amazing, a life that, only you can imagine and only you know is possible. And then also knowing that that life that you think that is the best, that there's something even better and something even more amazing beyond that. Because Source will give you what you want. And if you're open to it and if you're allowing of it, he will give you something even better, which is a very amazing realization. There's always something more. There's always something that you haven't even realized yet that is possible for you. So my challenge for you this week is to really just like step into that energy of uh unease, of challenge, of people looking at you and thinking you're nuts for leaving that, 10-year relationship that you've been in whenever it's starting to implode and you realize I'm ready to move on. I've learned my lessons here from this job, from this relationship, from this, old belief system that I was holding on to, and you're ready to change it. That's a good sign. Take it and run with it. And know that also, like, I'm here to support you guys. I have so many different things for you guys. I'm actually creating in just a few minutes for you guys a very beautiful free resource for an energy restoration that I'm going to put up on my website. So you guys can have that as soon as this podcast comes out. That will also be available for you on my website to give a big energy boost, to fill you up with source energy and to fill you up with all of the, you know, good stuff that you need to be able to radiate that within you and radiate it out of you so that you can really have that good base of energy that you need to move through this lifetime. And also, I still have my free reads available. It's just to give you guys, clarity on where you are in life right now. So if you have these, big blowups that are happening and things are really, really changing in your lifetime and you're unaware of the next step, that's what I'm here for. Like, I can help you guys with that. I can tap into your intuition or into your energy using my intuition to give you that clarity that you need to see like what is going on within your energy that is creating these things and where are you wanting to be moving in life. That is something that I love doing. It's literally like my passion is showing you guys, okay, what's the next step? Where do you need to go? And both of those options are going to be available on my website. So you can go into the show notes. That's there for you guys. And this week, just know, like, if things are changing, if people think you're a little crazy for doing what you're doing, if things are feeling a little challenging and difficult and maybe hard or scary or big, right now they are. And that's a good thing. So let people think you're nuts. Push through the hard, like you can do it. And so much gorgeous, beautiful things are waiting for you on the other side. So keep that in mind this week and just keep on going. And I hope you have a gorgeous, gorgeous week.